coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. Let's talk Packers football. Coming off a win, 2-0. I said I'm pretty excited, especially considering that it was a dominant win.
It's a great win.
I mean, everybody who kind of said that, okay, was the Lions game for real? I think this really said
it was for real.
It was for real.
It was for real, especially given what the Lions did to the Bears today. And then, look, we've beaten two of the top contenders in the NFC that were in the playoffs last year. So this is a great way to build upon for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note too that both these teams were in the playoffs. The Lions obviously won the NFC North, and then on top of that, the Washington Commanders, they were in the NFC Championship game, and they beat the Lions to get there. So these are two very, very good playoff teams last year, at least anyways. And so as we kind of looked at how we played them, a lot of people were like, oh, Green Bay is going to get their secondary tore apart. Jaden Daniels is going to run all through them. Neither of those things happen. I think they only had 53 total yards of offense in the first half or something like that. It was a ridiculously small number.
I thought it was a lower number than that. I thought it was 23. We had 200 yards of offense and they had 23.
That could be. I know it was. I know it was.
I think it might be that, but I could be
53.
wrong. I thought it was a lower number.
Either way, it was still a real dominant performance by the Packers here. And if we kind of look at Jordan Love, 19 of 31, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think that he probably could have broken his record if they hadn't gone a little overly conservative in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's something we'll get into. I think he could have broken his record too if Belton didn't hold and
True.
That Jaden Reed touchdown got called back. Also something we'll get into a little bit later, but I have some notes from the game. I'll start with some of the good and then another point where I was kind of looking to see what will happen next. Tucker Kraft, he's emerged last season. All the Green Bay fans knew that he was a great tight end, and now it feels like he's telling the rest of the league and everyone else who will watch a Packers game be like, I'm that dude. 6 receptions, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. We've held both the Washington Commanders and the Lions in 2 games to just 97 rush yards. So that in 41 attempts, that's 2.3 yards per carry.
Both those teams total under 100 yards.
Yeah, both those teams total under 100 yards. So if you rush the ball for all 4 plays, you are still not getting a first down.
That's crazy.
Micah is wreaking havoc. Even though he's not getting all the sacks, he's getting so many pressures to where people like Devontae Wyatt and Rashawn Gary can benefit from it. Rashawn Gary's tied for the lead in sacks right now as of Sunday night in week 2. Wyatt also had 7 pressures to Micah's 8 and 2 pass deflections as well. Do you see that in the game?
I did see the pass deflections in the game. I think, was it you who said that Devontae Wyatt was going to have a good game? I think both of your players both the players you picked had a good game.
I think I picked Devontae for the Lions. For the Lions game. I can't remember who I said for the Commanders.
I know you said Tucker Kraft. I know you said that. And we kind of talked about the tight ends really having a game. We didn't hear much from Musgrave because you didn't need to.
He caught a ball. He caught 2 passes, 32 yards, and stayed on his feet.
He stayed on his feet, which matters. Speaking of staying on their feet as well as catching balls, Dontavian Wicks remembered how to catch this year.
Oh, yes.
4 catches, 44 yards. Caught literally everything thrown his direction.
That was catchable.
True.
There was a couple that were slightly overthrown or just the route wasn't quite there on the deep post shot in the middle of the field. That was just outside of his fingertips.
I was going to say Matthew Golden had one that was just outside of his reach. And here's the thing with Matthew Golden, okay? I think that there are some fans who are kind of freaking out a little bit. And it's chill. Matthew Golden is getting open. If you go back and you watch what takes place, he is getting open. It's just, this is the NFL now. And when you're in the NFL, things develop at a different pace. And yeah, Jordan Love and Matthew Golden had all that time in practice, but this is the real deal now. And when it's the real deal, there's going to be some chemistry that still needs to build during the actual game. I will say this too. He does need to work on his run blocking because he's been kind of bullied a little bit.
Yeah, as a smaller guy, it's just gonna have to be getting that like mentality for run blocking. But I will say 2 points with Matthew Golden is he was both overthrown in that game and underthrown in that game. So there is like they just have to connect, and that takes time. But I remember when Christian Watson first joined the team, he was getting open and wasn't getting thrown to very often, and then it clicked and then just exploded.
Yeah.
That same thing should happen for Matthew Golden. Another thing, corners looked really good. Keyshawn Nixon, 5 pass breakups, the most in a Packers game since Jair Alexander in 2018 against the Rams. That is a crazy sentence, and I cannot believe I said it. And Javon Bullard looked way better both against the run and in coverage this game too.
Yeah, Bullard, when it comes to his vision in the line of scrimmage, it's incredible.
I would say he's the best run defending nickel in the league.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Or he's up there.
Yeah, top
Maybe
5.
Put like Taron Johnson above him, but top 5, yeah.
Top 5 for sure. And his coverage was pretty solid. It was decent this game, especially compared to the other game. And if he
100%.
can, if Bullard can just be if Bullard can even be average in coverage, he's going to be a great nickel corner.
I think he's finally getting to focus on one position.
Yeah, definitely. And he's so good at the screen plays, at sniffing out the quarterback. To have, realistically, I would say to have 2 really, really good guys who can sniff out the quarterback there. And I'd say Quay is fine at it. You know what I mean? But Edgerrin Cooper's so good at football. And he's gone under the radar how good he's been.
It's so nice watching him play. I want to get his jersey.
I know. So I know we talked about that Reed touchdown that was called back. Unfortunately, Jaden Reed is going to be out till probably November. He did break his collarbone.
Collarbone.
Yeah, he's getting surgery on that.
When the injury happened, I thought he dislocated his shoulder in the moment. And then when he was just kind of walking off in that much pain, I was like, yeah, probably broke his collarbone. He fell in a very similar way to what was it Christian Kirk in the Jaguars game that we played last year?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, when Edge tackled him, yeah. He fell in a very similar way to that.
And that really, really is a bummer for him because, man, that was an awesome catch. But unfortunately got called back.
Awesome catch.
And he's been lighting it up too, except for that one drop.
I think it's kind of like, it's like a double-edged sword with Reed. It's a good thing because now he gets to heal from the Jones fracture in his foot.
Yeah, that's a really.
He doesn't have to run and play through that. So it sucks he broke his collarbone, but it's good he's not causing himself more pain and playing through that injury.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it too. And I kind of wondered why they didn't put him on injured reserve to begin with, but they obviously thought it wasn't bad enough.
They thought he could play through it. That's why they were like, yeah, he's tough enough to play through it.
So, which makes me wonder, he's getting collarbone surgery. I wonder if they will clean up that Jones fracture as well.
I believe, maybe.
Yeah, because I believe you have to get surgery to get it fixed, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think you would have to get surgery for it.
It depends on how severe it is. Mild,
and
not significantly defaced, may not be necessary. So, that could be why that must have been why he was able to play on it. So it might not be it might just be a mild one. And so, yeah, definitely taking these next 4 to 8 weeks or however long IR is, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Just heal up.
IR is 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
4? Is it 4? I thought it was 3 to 4.
3 to 4. And then I think a collarbone.
He won't be back until you won't probably see him again until Philly. Or New York. Philly or New York.
Yeah. So since he's getting surgery, it's going to be around closer to the 6 week time, it looks like.
Oh, okay. I'd still hold him out till Philly or New York.
Yeah.
No point of him playing in Carolina.
Yeah, the jerseys are cool, so that's about it.
Yeah.
Those are sick jerseys. Keeping on the injury train here. Obviously, Zach Tom didn't play this game. Neither did Banks as well. They did like the rotation there of Belton and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Kennard.
Yeah, Belton and Kennard. How did you feel about that?
So I think that Kennard is better right now in pass pro and in run blocking. I think Belton kicks butt in run blocking, but isn't all there as a pass pro, and that he's like a -1 as a pass protector. So I would go with Kennard over Belton right now if heading into next week off of our little mini 10-day break here. I would start, if Banks is good to go, I would do Walker, Banks, Jenkins, Ryan, Morgan. But if Banks isn't good to go, I'd kick Morgan into guard and have Kennard at right tackle. I wouldn't bother with Zach Tom this next game.
Okay, so you still think against? Oh yeah, I mean if it's against the Browns have a lot of issues.
It's against the Browns, not really. You just chip Myles Garrett every play with Tucker.
Well, and we'll talk about that on. You guys hear about that on Friday
In the preview.
Yeah, in the Cleveland Browns preview on Friday. So we won't get too much into that right now. But yeah, I do think if you want to, you can hold out. From my understanding of it, it's a mild oblique tear.
You still wouldn't want him to play through it. You want to take it. I'd take it easy with Zach Tom. Make sure he's 100% for the rest of the season because he's a pretty crucial player.
Yeah, there is a noticeable difference, and I agree with you though.
100%.
I do think Belton is like a -1 in pass pro. I think that's just who he is as a tackle. I know there are other people out there who would suggest otherwise and just think that a lot of his issues are more technical. I think that's the case.
I would agree with that, but I mean, he played at NC State, right?
Yeah, 5 seasons.
5 seasons. Five seasons?
Yeah. Or no, he played 5 seasons.
I did not know that.
5 seasons in college total. So he was a 5th year.
Okay. I did not know that. Doesn't really help my perception of him. So, would a couple of those seasons have been opposite Ike Ekwonu?
Might have been. I know he played. I know he was there for 3 years. He was he started for about 3 seasons. He did average 8 penalties per year.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's definitely like a technical thing, and then getting him in more time with Steno and them to clean it up, kind of get him set at. They want him at right tackle, I presume, because Morgan's the left tackle of the future.
I don't think they want him at right tackle permanently. I think it's more of a, can we see if he's a swing tackle right now? Because I believe Kennard this is the last year of Kennard's contract. So Kennard is a free agent. And
we have Tom long term.
Yeah, so you have Tom long term. And he did project, he projected better as a guard coming out.
So it's a Ryan he's a Ryan replacement then. So it's just, I definitely think he needs to spend some more time, learn the position a little better. But
like, he is strong though.
I have all the faith in the guy. He's a strong dude. I have all the faith that he can get better. I kind of want to loop back to the past game and how there's been a little bit of inconsistency there over the past 2 games. I just kind of want to see that ironed out. Maybe getting I know with Reed's injury, maybe just saying, all right, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, and Dontavian Wicks, you 3 are going to be on the field together at all times. Just make some, kind of get used to that group. And then you start sprinkling in Christian Watson when he comes back and Jaden Reed. We just get set with a good group of 3 instead of trying to always rotate guys in for this.
I know that it looks like there's some inconsistencies, and there is, but it's hard to kind of, because we are nitpicking. They scored 27 points against the. They scored 27 points against the Lions.
Nitpicky point, but
yeah, and then they scored 27 points against the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
So they're putting up points, but I get what you're saying because it feels like they're leaving points on the table.
Yeah. This is the point where I'm very nitpicky in the episode. Yeah, no, but we've felt like we're leaving points on the table, and at some points in the game we're getting too conservative too early. Mm-hmm. I'd rather, instead of taking the foot off the gas a little bit and trying to run down the clock, I'd rather see them keep their foot on the pedal a bit and try and go for their throat a little more often.
Yeah, I know there's this kind of idea of like sportsmanship and all that. But one of my favorite Bill Belichick things was when they were on that dominant stretch back in like the 2000s, early 2000s, I think it was. He said that we are going to score and we're going to keep scoring at one point. And to me, I'm like, that's a killer mentality to have. I
No
think
lead
that
is
you
big
can.
enough, in my opinion.
No lead is big enough. And I think there are other teams out there that play like that, and the Lions are one of those teams that play like that.
I think they just like beating up on bad teams, though. So,
I mean, who does it? Especially when that bad team is coached by their former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson.
and then
like, I get
my
that.
second kind of nitpicky thing is it's felt like these past 2 games we haven't played a complete game in all 3 phases. Like the defense has been stellar. They're fine. Special teams in the Washington game was a little lackluster. Like Debo cracked off that 50-yard return. So missed field goal. And then like the offense disappears at times. Like it starts strong, disappears, comes back. Like we just need to find a good speed and stick to it the whole game and stay consistent. That's, I think, the theme right now is just consistency.
Yeah, I mean, they build consistency quarters 1, quarter 2. They seem to dip in quarter 3, and then they come back in quarter 4 and really seal the deal.
Because most of the time they have to. Like this Washington game, they had to come back in quarter 4 because Washington was making a charge.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And then the defense is probably the most consistent part.
100%.
Like from sun up to sundown, they are go 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 go, and I attribute that to Micah Parsons, 100%. Like I'm serious.
No, I know
like,
you're
and he even
serious.
said so. We talk about this every episode. Micah Parsons, but it is like it is that mentality of, hey, I only know. I mean, he said it himself. I only know
One speed,
one setting, and it's go. Yeah, one speed, and that's go. And that's evident on the defense, 100%.
I think for 2 things it is the addition of Micah Parsons and Jeff Hafley being a wizard and making amazing calls. Because when you look at some quick defensive stats, we have 3 players, or we have the top 3 players in solo tackles. Edgerrin Cooper, Javon Bullard, and Quay Walker are the top 3 for solo tackles. And we have 3 players inside the top 10 for sacks in the league. Rashawn, Devontae Wyatt, and Micah Parsons.
That's just insane. Like, especially compared to last year.
And we're leading the league in passes defended too.
Which is wild because I'm going to say this. I'm a Keyshawn Nixon hater, and I will forever be a Keyshawn Nixon hater because I'm just convinced that my hate fuels him. And if it fuels him to play better, then I might as well just keep hating.
Yeah. I also, as speaking of secondary too, Nate Hobbs, Packers debut wasn't awful. It was pretty solid.
I thought he played well. I thought that pass interference was, or that holding call, is that what they called it?
On Ertz, right? Like,
no, that was Xavier McKinney got.
No, there was an earlier one in the game. I think it was like the second or third quarter.
Oh, was it? Either way, I thought it was a little weak, but that reffing crew was kind of expected. They are a bit nitpicky on the holding type calls.
Okay.
I mean, the Xavier McKinney call, like Zach Ertz looked like he actually picked up Xavier McKinney and moved him more than Xavier McKinney was holding him. So, yeah, I mean, they were a little nitpicky. I can't complain. The worst call I thought was on Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that was really tacky. Like that was that I wouldn't have called that. Like as impartial me, I wouldn't have called that. He just kind of lost positioning, but kept his arm out. Like he wasn't really holding him.
Yeah, I don't think he really impeded progress outside of him just being there. Which is completely normal.
That led to a serious swing, right? Like it would have been a first down, and then it led to like a 2nd and 12, right? Or like, and then we went off we stalled out the drive after that. Yeah, so I mean that was something I can't really I don't fault him for at all whatsoever. Like that's just, you got to know who your refs are, kind of a thing, and you got to pay attention to it. Even that though, I don't really think there's anything Fitzpatrick could have done short of just blocking perfectly. Unfortunate is what it is. But other than the nitpicky calls, I do think defensively it was an overall clean game. The defensive backs
played very well. Nate Hobbs in his debut. Really excited to see him. I know that everybody talks about Keyshawn Nixon and his 5 pass defenses and stuff like that. It's awesome. Great for him. But I think the real star of the show was the guy opposite of him,
Carrington Valentine.
Carrington Valentine, because they didn't even want to look his direction pretty much.
He had a couple good plays. Like they threw at him and he just
a couple, yeah.
McKinney almost came down with an interception.
I know.
So
Man,
close.
I need one of those from him. Devontae Wyatt was a stinking dog too. You know?
Yeah, a sack, 2 passes defended.
Trying to get it. He was. You could tell he was trying to get it a big man interception.
100%. Once he got the first pass defended, he was like, "Oh yeah, I could catch this," and then just was jumping for joy at every throw that went over his head.
That was yeah. So I mean, throughout the entire game, who would you say are your 3 guys who stood out to you the most?
2 on offense, 2 on defense. I would say Dontavian Wicks on offense. I'm going to not say Tucker because Tucker's the obvious one. So, Dontavian Wicks. And then I'm going to say, this is going to surprise you here, Savion Williams.
Okay.
He did some good things out of the Wildcat and in motion as well.
Was it that direct snap that he took? Mm-hmm. That would have been a touchdown if he didn't slip.
Yeah.
100%.
So, like, you people weren't the biggest fan of him pre-draft, but this game, you see what the Packers liked in him and what they believe he can do at a high level in the NFL.
Absolutely. So, Dontavian Wicks, Savion Williams, and then who are your 2 on defense?
My 2 on defense, Edgerrin Cooper, everywhere, all over the field. And I think Rashawn Gary had a really good game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard to not say Rashawn Gary. And for all the people who said, "Oh, that contract is overblown," that Rashawn Gary's contract is looking really, really good for
especially now
one of the top 5 one of the top 5 run defenders in the league, and now leading the league in sacks?
Tied for the lead in sacks.
Tied, I should say.
At 2.5 he's tied with Harold Landry of all people.
It's a great contract now. I'd say for me, my 2 and 2, I'll start with offense first as well. Josh Jacobs, 10 games of having a touchdown. He had, I think, 23 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. And like the run game is progressively getting better.
Yeah, I think it's getting better too.
It had some moments, but like Josh Jacobs, you can tell this game was able to hit the gaps a little bit better than he was against the Lions. And I know that one of the things we talked about was stopping Payne, as well as looking at that defensive line. Mm-hmm. That defensive line, the defensive tackles, I think were better than what Detroit had. Even though they had better defensive tackles, Josh Jacobs still ran better overall. So he's probably my first one. And then Jordan Love commanding the offense. He had a couple overthrows and a big overthrow and a big underthrow. But that touchdown pass to Tucker Kraft was disgustingly good. Like, it was just a beautiful, beautiful pass. Almost could have gotten deflected. Just put it right where Tucker Kraft could get it. Like, oh my goodness. Just to see him coming on. And this isn't even Toyota-thon Jordan Love. And he's dropping he's dropping dimes right now. Defensively, I would say, like, we kind of talked about this before, but I think Carrington Valentine, very underrated, absolute baller there. I think he is really developing into a guy who is
Carrington Valentine, especially because as soon as you make a play, whatever he does next after making a play is hilarious. Like,
he's a chirper.
Every chirp or celebration he does is so funny.
I love the Packers social media team now, and whenever they get a CV highlight in there, it cracks me up all the time. Like, somebody said, "Oh, he's Jair Light," and I'm like, "No, man, he's CV. He's all CV. That's who he is." So he was definitely my go-to on defense. And then I like just seeing Devontae Wyatt and how well he has blossomed into a complete defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's way better against the run this year, eh?
Yeah. And one of the things that, like, I had talked about with other people was that I think that Devontae Wyatt is a better run defender than people think. And I think that it started to show last year until he got hurt, unfortunately. And then I felt like he was going to take a leap this year. And so far, against some pretty solid offensive lines,
Yeah.
especially with the Commanders here, I think that interior offensive line was supposed to be better, at least on paper, than the Detroit Lions because it wasn't as new.
I mean, I don't know if PFF grades would agree with you, but
I mean,
wasn't
we took care of both those offensive
that's
lines.
true. But yeah, especially for a lighter defensive tackle, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I was definitely overall impressed. I think that again, this is one of those things where having a pass rush helps, and then just Jordan Love playing the way he is, even though we didn't play a complete football game, like you had a couple drives there or a quarter, you could say, where you're like, I'd like you to play better. I mean, just watching the games today, from what I've watched so far, I'd say that the Packers are one of the teams that are still playing the most complete football, which is saying something this early.
100%.
What were your kind of like two positive takeaways and two negative takeaways?
My two positive takeaways were that no one's running the ball on us, and
thank goodness
for the first time we kind of limited a scrambling quarterback. Or not for the first time, but like
okay, yeah, I was gonna say
it was nice to not have to worry about a quarterback running all over us.
I do think some people have Colin Kaepernick PTSD, and with under Jeff Hafley, we haven't.
Yeah, I know.
Haven't had to deal with running quarterbacks, so it's just it's nice to see that the Packers took care of a running quarterback that everybody hyped up and said was going to run all over us.
I don't have Colin Kaepernick PTSD. I have Joe Barry PTSD.
That's fair too. Yeah. Tommy DeVito PTSD.
Oh my God! Don't remind me. It was a horrible day in the neighborhood.
Tommy DeVito PTSD. Now the practice squad quarterback for the Patriots.
I don't want to say two negatives, but I'll do like one negative because I can't think of two negatives. I would say that the inconsistency in the passing game would be my negative. Even though Jordan Love had 292 yards, but
yeah,
you leave a lot. He left a lot on the table.
Would have had over 300 if it wasn't for that cold. But we're not bitter. We are a little
bitter. Oh, one thing too that I'm going to say I'm going to do three positives, one negative. I'm adding on another positive. I like to see how much like fire Matt LaFleur is coaching with this year. How much emotion he's got on the sidelines, and he's giving it to the guys when necessary.
Him chewing out JJ Enigbare.
Oh, that was funny.
I'm glad on that.
So what are your two negatives what are your two positives and two negatives if you have them?
So my two positives would have to be, I think, how complete the defense has played for 2 games in a row. I think that's probably the biggest thing, and that's what you really like to see in a defense this early. Is they are, and it's not just on one phase. It's on just about every level of the defense. It's not just the defensive line. It's the defensive line. It's the linebackers. It's the safeties, and it's the cornerbacks. So there's every level is playing pretty consistent, I'd say, which is really, really great to see. And that's just a testament to Jeff Hafley. But I want to say a bunch of negative things about Jeff Hafley so that way nobody hires him away as a head coach next year.
Yeah, he's a terrible leader of men. You can't head coach a football team. That's why he demoted himself from Boston College. No, we're just joking. Jeff Hafley's a great guy, but we want him to stay forever.
For real. I heard he takes 2 samples when you're only supposed to take 1, 3 samples when you're only supposed to take 1. So do with that information as you will. Don't hire him, please.
Please don't hire him. We beg you. We've had one good defensive coordinator. Don't take him from us.
Literally the last 10 years.
Well, didn't he say he was committed to Green Bay for a while? This is like year 2.
Yeah, but college football is different than NFL football. Like NFL football is way more focused about actual ball, whereas college football you have to recruit your own players every year, and it's ridiculous.
He did say he was.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave after this year, but like he said, Green Bay is the mecca of football. So
he could pull a Ben Johnson.
I don't think he would.
Wait a year, depending on what's available.
Well, little brain exercise here. What jobs do you think are going to be available? Miami's going to be available in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, Miami, maybe Carolina.
He's year 2. I believe, for head coach, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean, it just depends on how committed they are to Bryce Young
Mhm.
and who they blame for Bryce Young. Or is it it is year 2 for Bryce Young. Or is it year 3 for him?
Year 3. He was 20. No, he's year 2. God, why are my draft classes getting mixed up in my head?
Drafted in 2023.
I think that I'm trying to think of who other jobs on the line other than Mike McDaniel. Shane Steichen, maybe, if the Colts collapse. But they started off 2-0.
Yeah, Danny Dimes looks literally like Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals. I think the Bengals could lose their.
Zach Taylor could be gone. Yeah, maybe. If they collapse mid-season.
Are they? I think they're 1-1 right now.
They're 2-0. They beat the Jaguars.
Wait, what? Oh my goodness, they did.
They
beat
won.
the Jaguars.
They won that game. Well, they're gonna have to live and die with Jake Browning at quarterback for a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens there.
Joe Burrow with an injury. I mean, yeah, I don't really know of any other like hot seat ones. I mean, unless like a surprising one might be the 49ers coach Shanahan.
I don't think they'll ditch Shanahan.
But I don't think so either.
The only way they get Shanahan out of there is if John Lynch gets fired. I think that's the only way they get Shanahan out of there.
Yeah. And I don't think Sean McVay's going to retire anytime soon. So I just...
If you're Jeff Hafley, would you take the Miami job?
No. Are you kidding me? No.
So I think he might stick around for another year.
I would not touch Miami with a 9.5 foot pole. That place is so nobody, like, who wants to go deal with Tyreek Hill and Tua unfortunately getting a concussion every week?
Did he get concussed again?
I'm just assuming he did.
Oh, okay.
Because he plays like it. Like
Tua turned the ball over.
Yeah. I wouldn't if I'm Hafley, like I'm not. As of right now, obviously he's 100% obviously focused on the Packers, and this is a purely hypothetical thing. There's nothing that really I would desire to go to.
No, I know.
And be like, yeah.
No one's firing a first-year head coach. Like
very rarely does that happen.
Unless you're Nathaniel Hackett and stink it up for a year.
You do not know how to tell time like Nathaniel Hackett. So when Mike McDaniel does get fired, get ready for special assistant Mike McDaniel.
I would love that. Honestly, I would be okay with that.
Me too. So back to the original thing. I had said my 2 positives were the complete defense and how they played. And then Jordan Love was my other one here. And then my 2 negatives, I think, man, like special teams, just absolutely. We talked about this a little bit earlier here, but special teams just get so frustrating. And I read somebody else, and Matt LaFleur hired somebody on defense that is like him on offense.
They literally dressed the same.
I think
you see that
almost have the same haircut, I swear.
It was like,
yes, that was funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of jokes too, somebody said that Rich Bisaccia should wear a shot collar.
Yeah.
And get zapped every time there's a penalty.
I sent that
on
to you.
Special teams. Yeah, that's right, you did. Which I agree. That's funny. So I don't know, like if I'm the Packers and I'm looking at the special teams and what's going on, the inconsistency there, like I can't imagine Rich Bisaccia is not on a shorter lease this year than he has been on years prior, but it's still early. I'm hoping things get kind of worked out here.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second thing is probably the offensive lulls.
Yeah.
And Matt LaFleur getting too conservative too quickly. Like, this is still the NFL, and I don't think the third quarter is really the quarter to start running it every single down.
Unless you're playing Tennessee, in which case you're not in the NFL, so.
Yeah, exactly. Or unless you have Derrick Henry, who still can run like a freak of nature. That's kind of my thing. That's kind of the biggest thing. And some of that too is it's early. You're working with what you've got. I am looking forward to seeing how this offense is going to evolve, especially from what I've heard here recently. Christian Watson should be back sooner rather than later.
Isn't he out till week 6 though because of pup rules?
I believe so. So that, yeah. And then I've also heard the rumor that Quay Walker's has a contract on the table, and from my understanding of it is it should be finalized by the bye week. So I got some stuff to look forward to here moving forward.
Who are your sources?
I have some friends who are in Green Bay,
Awesome.
and they are in and around there. So they said that the Quay Walker extension is on the table. And I actually believe, I think it was Ken Ingalls on X said, hey, like it was either Ken Ingalls or Tom Silverstein. I can't remember who it was specifically. One of the Packers beat writers specifically said, hey, yeah, they have a contract on the table, and he had posted that like a day or two ago, and I had heard about it about a couple days before that.
Cool. Look at you breaking the news. This is awesome.
I know, right? Got my sources for once. So we'll see kind of what happens there. I am looking forward to keeping Quay long term, just especially with Cooper, and seeing that young duo as they evolve is going to be incredible. I am excited for the Cleveland Browns game. That's at Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that preview. Next episode, it'll be a fun one.
2-0.
Looking forward to next week.
And
2-0. Hopefully, gonna make it 3-0 heading into the bye.
3-0, and nope, we have one more game.
Oh right, yes. 4-0.
Dallas Cowboys Sunday Night Football.
It's the Cowboys. Scary.
Exactly. They just signed Jadeveon Clowney because they don't have a pass rush.
Wow, I wonder where their pass rush went. He walked on over to 1265 Lambeau.
Well, thank you again for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate you. And until next time.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!